Hello and welcome to the Roto Wire Fantasy Soccer Podcast. We're talking Saturday's Premier League slate at DraftKings. We got a 5-game slate for everyone. I'm Adam Zdroik, joined by Jordan Cooper. Ryan Belangi is gone. His kid is had a doctor's appointment. Jordan is back from COVID. Welcome back, Jordan.
Good. Let's see how long my voice holds up for the course of the week. I mean, I feel fine or whatever, but it's like it's I didn't have a cough, I didn't have chest tightness, I didn't have whatever, but apparently, did your larynx or whatever. Once you start talking for more than 30-40 minutes, my voice kind of gives out. So that may actually be a good thing. People are sick of hearing from me. But
I'm gonna have to go on some rants then.
No, there's no rants to go on. What rants can we go on? I mean, it's a soccer slate. We got like no forwards to pay. We get to play for cash games, and you just got to hope to score some goals. And we got defenders to play. Not many cheap midfielders. I mean, it's a 5-game slate, so I like the amount of options, but I think there are many ways that you could go on the slate, and it's all going to depend on how certain teams line up, because I'm not exactly sure what some of these teams are even going to do.
Yeah, with the Chelsea situation, we have, mainly, I guess, Reece James. This would be, if he starts on Saturday, it's going to be his first start since December. He came off the bench in the League Cup, and then he came off the bench. That was the League Cup final, and then came off the bench midweek. I think that was Wednesday against Luton Town for the FA Cup. So that's going to be one of the main questions here. And then,
well, is Lukaku even going to start?
Yeah, there's always a question of who starts up front here for Chelsea now that, well, Lukaku did score in the FA Cup, so maybe that confidence is growing. I guess that's that's something maybe going in his favor. And then we also have we can't forget Christian Eriksen. I don't think he's going to be ready to start, but he came off the bench and Brentford looked better last week. So there's a chance that Eriksen comes in and he. Obviously, against Norwich, he's going to change kind of everything for him. So a few questions here that are going to change, definitely team selection here as we get to it.
Yeah, but the problem at forward is that there really isn't any safety at forward on the slate at all. And if you're going to pay for it, you're significantly hampering your lineups. So I think there are a lot of options cheaply at forward. I think this may be this for both GPP and cash games. This could be a dinky do type of slate, but not a dinky do in the way that we normally think about it, of like two cheaper wide type of players that aren't very goal dependent, but they can maybe get you 6 or 7 points. I think we're talking about two goal dependent cheap players, only because why bother paying anything more? Because we see here on the RotoWire soccer cheat sheet, which you could get, rotowire.com/soccer trial. 10 days free, right? No credit card required. That, like, Lukaku, 6,800 plus 120. Raul Jimenez, 6,900 plus 150. Then we have Ivan Toney is 8,600 plus 155. I don't know who's going to play him. But if you want to get really sneaky in GPPs, I mean, you could feel free to overpay for a Brentford on the road, their center forward. But then we get down here and we see Havertz plus 170, and he's 5,600. Pookie is 4,100. And you can't, playing at home against Brentford is going to be one of the best matchups for Norwich the entire season. You got Chris Wood, which I have been playing every slate and losing money on, right? Because he's always cheap, and why can't he score for Newcastle? You got Danny Ings at 5,200 plus 180. Why am I paying up at forward? I mean, why? What is there to really pay up for? Obviously Toney is way overpriced, but it's weird to say at 4,100, Pookie playing pretty much 90 minutes. What do I need from 4,100? If I were to play a midfielder at 4,100, what am I aiming for? 5 points? I mean, Like if I were to play like Douglas Luiz, like what am I? What I mean, I'm looking for 5 points. I defend if I'm playing a $4,100 fullback, I'm looking for what, 5 points or something. I mean, like that's all you really look for at that price. But Pookie could score 4 points just on shots, and he could score twice. Like the difference between someone like Pookie or Havertz or Wood or any of these forwards under 6,000 is that, yes, they don't have much of a floor at all, but they have 20+ point upside that you're not going to be able to find for a similarly priced midfielder defender. And we have midfielders and defenders to play on this. Like if you're going to pay 7,000 plus for a player, it's going to be at midfield. It's going to be at defender. So why not just do it there? I see no reason why to play. Like to me, the highest floor forward eligible player on this slate is Coutinho at 8,500. But I feel like you're paying for the floor. The upside of Coutinho is not much different than those 4 or 5K forwards, right? Like if Coutinho could, yes, if Coutinho scores 2 goals as well as 15 peripheral points, yeah, he's breaking the slate. But like if Coutinho only scores 15 points, like I can match that with a 4K, 5K player. And if I play Coutinho in my forward spot, essentially I'm pricing myself out of a high-end midfielder and a high-end defender. And I think the opportunity cost at midfield and defender is so much higher on this slate than at forward. I don't think if you were to play, let's say, Pookie and Havertz in your forward spots and don't get goals, I don't think you're that hampered because I don't think many people are going to have that many points out of your forward spot to begin with. But if you play Coutinho and he gets 14 in your forward spot and you're playing a 4K defender that gets 4 points while we have defenders that get 15 to 20, like you're going to be, I think you're going to be further behind doing it that way.
Yeah, the pricing is just, you throw in the incorrect pricing here on Zaha at 8,700 and Tony at 8,600. Like it doesn't make sense really. Zaha's been priced up pretty much. I guess maybe it was just that last slate. He was 9,600 against Burnley, floor of 12 points. But it's kind of like, so we have this cheat sheet up. These odds are pulled off from FanDuel. I had to double check here. I went to DraftKings to look at some other odds because from FanDuel we have Zaha at plus. I just scrolled down. He's plus 370 to score, and on DraftKings he is plus 240. And then so it's just kind of.
I mean, don't you think, Adam? Crystal Palace has the second lowest implied goal total, yet their prices are way expensive for that. Like I'm definitely not saying play that game. I think that game is overpriced.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have Wolves in a match, you don't really want to pay for the opposite team just because how defensive they play. I mean, they've allowed some goals in recent matches, but like every one of their matches is kind of defensive. And then you throw in like even Elisa is. I think Ryan actually highlighted him in his article. If you want to read that, that's rotowire.com after listening to our show. But I mean, Elisa, if he's taking set pieces, that's still like 8,300 set pieces away.
For the second biggest underdog on the slate. I mean, right. I can't see myself playing Palace. The only way that I could see myself playing Palace is if only one of them start, like between Gallagher and Olise. And even then, I'm not all that enamored with it. It really comes down to, I know we're bouncing around, but whatever. What that Chelsea lineup looks like, and what do we do with Mason Mount at 9,900? Because I'm never that big of a Mount person when their fullbacks also take set pieces. So, like for 9,900, I don't mind playing Mount if he had a set piece monopoly. But compare Mount to James Ward-Prowse. Would you just, I mean, from a matchup perspective, of course, Mount against Burnley, much better. But like Reece James and Marcus Alonso are both expensive defenders, 7,900 and 7,300. And if they're both in, and if they're going to eat set pieces from Mason Mount, would it make more sense to just play Ward-Prowse at 9,700, or would it make more sense than play neither of them?
I think Ward-Prowse is. I like Ward-Prowse. I think this is a fade Mason Mount match, just because you don't know if how many set pieces he's actually going to take. Like, there's a chance that Alonso and James take all of them. There's a chance he takes all of them. But on the opposite side of that, like Ward-Prowse in a match that's probably going to be more high scoring according to the odds, can be more up and down. Ward-Prowse, you know what he's going to do. He's taking PKs, he's taking set pieces, like he's taking everything, and we've already seen him his upside this season. So like, he still has upside, he still has a floor. Like, I just think it's difficult to go, like, even with the matchup here. It's difficult to go Mount over Ward-Prowse, just with the unpredictability of Chelsea.
Well, I mean, I think I think it's much closer than you think, because Mount's odds to score are plus 195 compared to James Ward-Prowse at plus 350. So, like, if I don't want to think about it, maybe just playing all the Chelsea, just stack Chelsea and not worry about it. Like, imagine playing a lineup that is like, you play Lukaku, assuming he starts, Lukaku, Havertz, Mount, James, Alonso, and then fill out the rest of your lineup however way you can. And then you don't even have to worry about it. The problem is that Chelsea don't do anything, you're screwed. But I mean, if you don't want to have to worry about where the set pieces go or where the production goes, instead of picking out one over the other, I think there's value in even cash games, just saying, just give me all the Chelsea and let everyone else worry about trying to get a goal at a Timu Pukki and playing, we'll get to defender. There's probably one defender that I'm going to play regardless. But I mean, this is a 3-defender type of slate also. I mean, there are really a lot of lineups that you could play. I mean, even in cash games. And it's going to come down to very slim margins. But at the midfield, Adam, at the midfield position, like outside of Mount and Ward-Prowse, do you see any midfield only player that you feel like you have to play?
I mean, if you don't want to spend on Mount and Ward-Prowse, I think Billy Gilmore is actually.
Do you want to play Billy Gilmore?
Yeah, I do. Billy Gilmore.
So you're like, I need to get him to my. I don't view him at Billy Gilmore. I put Billy Gilmore, assuming he starts, obviously. Billy Gilmore, Joe Matinho, Douglas Luiz. Like, those are. Do I want to play? They fill out lineups, right? They have floors. They have set pieces. They not have the greatest of ceilings. So it's not like I want to play them. Like, I feel like I'd much rather take a shot on someone like Solly March or Stuart Armstrong. But these aren't even guys I want to play either. I mean, just like I don't see anyone that I want to play. Right? We have
I want to play Gilmore.
Jensen,
I'm saying it.
Right? I mean, or Jacob Motor or John Joe Shelby. I'm like these are all like they fill in your lineup, but like these are.
I actually like Gilmore. I want to go on the record saying I actually like Gilmore. I think he has a floor of 10 points in this match. This is like, Norwich need points from this match. This is a must. I think Dean Smith said it this morning. This is a must not lose match. So like,
that's Norwich, confident, not lose. Thanks.
Well, that's the thing. This is like, they're home against Brentford. This is one of the most favorable matches that you can get in the Premier League this season. Brentford have struggled away from home all season. Gilmore's taken pretty much all set pieces. Like, he's taken set pieces over Ashika lately. They've had a difficult run, but like, he had a floor of 10 points at Southampton. He had 5 crosses at Liverpool. Those are difficult matches, but like, when healthy, when getting set pieces, like, this is a positive matchup. They're home. Like, if you can get 10 points out of him at 5,200,
well, sure, I'd love it.
I think you will, though. That's what I'm saying. I think you will. I think this is a great spot.
I have no problem with Gilmore. Like, I don't. I don't put him in that class of player that I want to play. He's there.
I want to play him in cash games, I'll say, but for tournaments, that's another story.
Right.
it's
But that's really the point that I'm making. That if you
okay.
don't pay up for Mount and or Ward-Prowse, like what two midfielders are you playing? I mean, like to me, that's the problem because if you pay like there's no one to me, there's no one in between them. Like I don't think I'm going to play 7,100 for McAllister against Newcastle when they have March and Gross and Trossard in like that anymore. And there's no one in the like. There's so many people that just are not going to play. Like Buendia is not worth 7,400. Jorginho at 6,300 is a joke. Assuming that even if he plays, John McGinn 6,000, Armstrong 5,800. It's like you there's no one in between. So it's like let's say you don't play Mount, you don't play Ward-Prowse. So you fill your lineup with what? Gilmore and Matinho, let's say, right? You pay up for 3 defenders, and it's like you're still stuck with like what forwards you like. You're not getting anywhere if I'm going to upgrade Timu Pukki to who? To what? To what am I doing at like the main problem is that I think you're going to be playing Mount or Ward-Prowse.
I think in that situation, if you actually spent down in midfield, you'd probably like end up with Mount or Ward-Prowse in utility just because you'd have the money.
Right. Well, I'm saying there's no one at forward to pay up for. I mean, unless you're going to pay 8,700 for Zaha for no reason, or Ivan Toney for 8,600 for no reason. Like, what are you doing? Coutinho, maybe, but he's midfield eligible only. Also, so you could play him there if you want. So that's why it's like I think it's inevitable that Mason Mount may be one of the highest owned players on the entire slate.
Yeah, just because no one else is good.
Right? No, right. And no one else is priced well enough. Like if Elise was like 6,800, I'd be like, okay. If Conor Gallagher was 6,500 and this, okay. But I mean, Crystal Palace barely has a one implied goal total. I mean, why am I playing them on the road to Wolves? And then we look at the Wolves players, and we didn't mention like He Chan. He Chan is 4,900 at forward. He's another one of those cheap forward type of. He's a little bit wider goal scoring odds. I think he's what plus 230 for GPP. I guess he's viable. But
I think for forward, you're kind of like you shouldn't spend more than 7K, I'll say, at forward. I mean, this is for cash game. Sure, GPP
right.
Play whoever, but like there
even in GPP, what I think, Adam, in GPP, I would say the same thing because look how many cheaper guys under 7,000 have good goal scoring odds. I mean, like they all can't be owned. So it's like we got Lukaku, Jimenez, Havertz, Pukki, Woods, Ings, Maupai at 6,600, Ollie Watkins, right? And these are all guys that are under plus 200. So have a 35% plus better chance to score. Like they all can't be owned. So it's like, why am I paying more? Why am I paying? I mean, like what's there? Why am I doing anything else? I mean, all these guys can't be on. I mean, like I think the Chelsea guys will be more owned than the other guys. But how much can Neil Maupay be owned? What is he going to be, 8% or something? Ollie Watkins, how much ownership is he going to get?
I'm still trying to figure out
my. Worry about anything more expensive. And if you want to play Armando Broja, fine, play him. I mean, there just seems like there's too many guys at forward under 7,000. That is there like Che Adams and Ivan Toney are going to be the lowest of the bunch, only because they're probably not worth their extra price, which means obviously they're both going to score 2 goals at 3% ownership, and you're going to need them.
Shea Adams is on fire right now, but
7,600? Really going to do that for 7,600?
I think I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do here, but I think there's going to be the Aston Villa Southampton match have the highest implied total. It's not a ton, but I think just that match in general just has, the possibility of 2-2, 3-2 type of match. I'm still trying to figure out like if I want two Aston Villa forwards, or throw Broja in there with Ward-Prowse. Like there's we've seen in recent matches, there's a world in which Coutinho just has a huge match, and then you're left with almost nothing from Watkins and Ings. Like I do like Coutinho. It's just like that price is just really difficult when like Ings and Watkins are so much cheaper. It's just difficult.
Right. And then at defender, I'll just keep on, as long as they'll continue giving him defensive eligibility. Why aren't I just jamming in Ryan Fraser into every lineup?
I don't know. I I didn't last week, and I'm never gonna do that again.
How did you not play him?
I had some lineup that I didn't have enough money for him. So I went target instead. He was 5,700 and Frazier is 6,000. So I didn't have the money, and it still worked out for the most part. But obviously, it could have worked out better if I somehow found Frazier in my lineup. So
right, but how do you not take the primary set piece taker for a home favorite that plays forward at a defensive eligible position?
I don't think he's actually primary. Isn't he just splitting with target? That's kind of why I went target here.
Okay. But Frazier plays as a forward, though. That's the point. I mean, but it's not like he's not playing as a fullback. He's playing in the front three.
Yeah, so I want to point out here, you said primary set piece taker, just for everyone to get our numbers right. So Target's taken 9 set pieces in the last 2 matches. Frazier has 4, and John Joe Shelby actually took 2 last match, which probably weren't corners. He's more of a set piece taker in front of goal kind of a thing. So,
right.
I mean, I don't know if I haven't been checking if those are just left and right sided corners, but it probably
play both
is.
of them. Play both. I mean,
yeah.
I see you could play target and dude, on this slate, I could play 5 defenders if you give me the slots to play them. I'd much rather play the defenders on this slate, because look at you got James and Alonso for Chelsea. Obviously, they're the most expensive ones, 7,900 and 7,300, playing as wingbacks against Burnley, which is like the best matchup for wingbacks you could possibly get. Then you got Newcastle with Frazier and target. And even Jacob Murphy, depending if he plays and lines up, he's fine. Tariq Lamptey seems to get forward a lot, 5,500 for Brighton. You got Lucas Digne splitting set pieces for Aston Villa, right? If Aiton Nuri is back, I mean, he's somewhat viable at 6,300. I mean, it feels like.
So
it feels like I want to pay for 3 of these guys.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So I'm trying to put in here. I think you either have to decide if you want to pay for 3 of these defenders, and this doesn't even include Reece James in there or Alonso. If you want to do 3 defenders, or if you want to pay for both Mason Mount and James Ward-Prowse.
I would go the 3 defender route.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, you're still getting the 10-point floor with pretty much most of these guys for what, $3K cheaper kind of a thing.
Right,
here.
And then also I don't have to punt at any other position.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could go Billy Gilmore.
No, but no, I don't count him as a punt. I'm talking about someone really much cheaper.
Yeah. This is not a punt on a center back slate. This is
right.
You need 2 defenders at least, at minimum. Above 5K, whatever this cutoff seems to be at here. We're looking at, it's pretty much at 5K. I guess Romain Perraud may start over Walker Peters. He's 4,700. Livermento's 4,600. I'd say that's probably the cutoff. Maybe
I guess you could play Canoche. I mean, at 4,400, playing.
He's always a sub risk. Yeah,
right. But I think people may get hung up and play like playing one of the Norwich fullbacks. Like I just don't see a need to go down and waste a defender slot on something like that. We may also get. I'm not going to fall into this trap. If Johnny starts for Wolves,
no.
Do we have him in the current?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. If he starts, he's not going to play 90.
No, he's not. He's
right.
Not.
Well, that's the point that I want to highlight. That he's 3,000, which for a Wolves wingback is a very good price. Like he should be. If he were to play 90, he should be like 4,500. Right?
Yeah, I mean, he should be at where Tomato's at, actually, where he's 5,300 basically.
Right,
So
right. Something like that. But the problem comes in is that I mean, when's the last time Johnny's played?
he's had 2 ACL surgeries.
Right. I'm just
yeah.
highlighting the fact that if he does start, I doubt that he plays 90 minutes.
No, he just played over 20 minutes a week ago, and then he didn't even play in the Wolves' last match because it was so soon after coming off the bench in the other match. So like he's not ready for a full 90.
Right. If he starts, he'll play 60.
Yeah, I do want to say Brighton pretty much every match they seem to be changing from 3 in the back to 4 in the back, and I think that would not that like it makes Lamptey or Cucurella, that much more appealing than someone like Frazier or something, but it's still, those guys could be playing as wing backs, so that would. I'm not sure how much it actually helps, but it does playing as a wing back. I'd have to actually look at those exact numbers there, but it's something to watch out for. Like if for some reason you're stuck at 5,100 and like Cucurella is sitting right there, like he's not. I don't think he's that much worse of a play than some of the guys above him. Really.
I got the play. I got your play.
Yeah, Shane Duffy's 2,700.
No. I'm not going back to the Shane Duffy.
Okay.
The Shane Duffy well. Is he even going to start? I don't know.
He could. If they do that back three, he's going to start.
Okay, but now I got someone better for you.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's your guy. I'm not going to play this guy, but I'm just trying to guess the center back that you're going to play.
I'm not playing him either.
No, you're going to play him in one lineup because you're so high on Billy Gilmore.
Oh, okay. Are we doing? Was this Ben Gibson or
Ben Gibson? You got to get the set piece center back goal from your boy Billy Gilmore on set pieces.
Yeah, Gibson. There's a chance. I don't know what's going on with Kabak here, but he's 2,500. That'd be even a better play. But...
Even better, because nothing could go wrong on a 5-game slate by playing Angus Gunn, Ben Gibson, Billy Gilmore, and Teemu Pukki in one lineup.
That sounds like a perfect lineup. As I said, it's a must not lose match for Norwich.
Right, it's a must not lose match. Come on, look at the confidence brimming in that. A must not lose.
That's guaranteed 3 goals. So
right, and you get 2 out of Pukki. You get Gilmore 2 assists, Ben Gibson goal, Gunn with the clean sheet, and you have all the money to spend on Ward-Prowse and Mason Mount.
Before we get further, we keep mentioning Pukki here, but Josh Sargent is 3,900, and why can't you just do instead of Pukki, who it's we've been talking about him on here, he'll probably be 2 or 3 times as popular as Sargent, like 200 cheaper.
Because he also has twice the amount of odds to score. That's why.
Yeah, well, you get the advantage though, just going against everyone else.
Why not both? Just stack Norwich. What could go wrong?
Maybe lose all your money, something like that. I guess we can do goalkeeper here. We kind of been bouncing around a little bit, but so Mendy has 50% odds for a clean sheet, 5,700. Are we going to find room for him? Like if you're spending on 3 defenders, if you're getting Ward-Prowse or Mount, you're probably not going to have room for him, correct?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, but there's a big difference between Mendy and Sa. There's a $500 gap, but that's warranted based on their clean sheet odds. I think that either you're going to pay all the way up for Mendy, or I mean, obviously you can play Nick Pope and just hope on saves, right, against Chelsea, and they are playing at home. But I think Angus Gunn at 4,500 or Darlow at 4,700. Like if you're going to play a home keeper, right? I think those 2 would be. Especially, you're probably not going to play a Brentford play. I mean, with Ivan Toney being so expensive, like I don't see myself playing much Brentford, so I guess I'll have Gunn. And also with all the production spread out for Brighton, it's quite possible I don't play much Darlow. If I'm playing Ryan Frazier, I'm going to need to have a Chris Wood lineup. So, if Frazier's defensive eligible, I'll play Darlow. And yeah,
probably
last week
Dubravka here. You mean Dubravka is 48? Yeah.
Oh, he's above.
Yeah,
They
you
missed
missed
him.
that.
Oh, right, because I just saw all the Newcastle
Yeah.
goalkeepers. I'm like, oh, I guess Darlow's in. Right, okay, Dubravka's 4,800. The extra 100, I can't afford it. Sorry.
Yeah, I will say if you put together your lineup beforehand and you have Angus Gunn in at 4,500, I think there's a 50% chance Tim Krul is starting again. He started midweek and he's 100. So like if you're banking everything, you have 4,500 left for your goalkeeper and you're banking on Angus Gunn, then I'd just be wary about possible
Well, I mean,
start
we'll
for
get all
Tim
the
Krul
lineups. You'll know that.
Yeah.
Angus Gunn is a better goalkeeper than Tim Krul anyway.
You think?
I don't know. I guess so. Hey, was it Angus Gunn? Angus Gunn was at Man City.
Was he? He was he
Yeah,
played one game.
He was Ederson's backup, right?
He played one game for Southampton last season. He gave up 9 goals, and then that was the last game he played for him. So
I could have sworn Angus Gunn was. I thought he was on like the Man City youth team or something.
He could have been a few years ago. I can't remember if he's ever played for him.
Yeah,
yeah,
he did.
Okay.
He has 0 appearances on the senior team. Yeah, no, Man City youth career, 2011 to 2017.
Hey, that means he's good.
Or maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I must not lose situation. Tim Krul 4,600. That is kind of pricey.
Must not lose situation.
It's kind of pricey for a Norwich goalkeeper, so it kind of has me worried.
But we have no problem. We have Norwich in all of our line, right? Pookie and Sargent and Gilmore and Ben Gibson. What can go wrong?
Yeah, so Nick Pope, 3,800. I say every show he doesn't have a negative number this season, but as you can see, like just by looking at Chelsea's fantasy points per game against here, first in the league because they're not one of the teams that just racks up shots on goal. As I say this, I look at the previous result and Pope had 4 saves and 7 floor points and a 1-1 draw. So maybe I'm just making stuff up here, but I guess, yeah, Pope 3,800. Go for it. I like it.
It's goalkeeper. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Do whatever you want. So, all right. I don't know. This has been kind of quick here.
How long could we go?
I don't know. It's pretty easy. Don't spend it forward and pick one of the guys in midfield and then spend on 3 defenders.
Right. And Billy Gilmore.
Do you have a favorite of any of the defenders?
Favorite? I don't know these people.
Do you want to pay 7,900 or 7,300 for James or Alonso? Because I'm kind of leaning I don't want to spend 7,300 on Alonso, and I'm kind of worried about James only going 70 minutes here.
I think Frazier, number 1. I think I'm more likely to play one of the Chelsea wingbacks, but not both of them. I could see myself doing something like Frazier, Alonso, or Frazier, James, Digne, like some type of lineup like that. But I mean, and for cash games at least. For GPPs, I'm just going to try to jam in the 5K forwards and hope to get a whole bunch of goals. But yeah, it really depends. I see myself playing Mount, 2 cheap forwards, Ryan Frazier, and spend up a defender and play Dubravka or Gunn. And if I don't pay up for James, maybe that's where I am able to fit in Mendy. And
so
even though on a larger slate, I'm less likely to pay up at goalkeeper anyway.
Yeah, especially away from home. Not that Burnley are good, but especially away from home. So you do like Mount over Ward-Prowse in cash games, all right?
Yeah. Assuming they're starting 11.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I don't know how often Mount and Ziyech have played together. Probably not often, but there's a chance those guys play. In that case, you don't want either of them, correct?
Right.
Because then
there's a chance that neither of them play.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean we got a lot of guys. Havertz, Pulisic, Lukaku. all those
Maybe they
guys.
go with those three. I mean, I don't think that makes sense, but you never know.
It doesn't make sense, but like if you looked at so midweek they played Kennedy and Hudson-Odoi at fullback. So like it doesn't have to make sense is kind of what I'm saying here.
Yeah,
Like
but that's a rotation. That's FA Cup. I mean, they
yeah,
can do whatever
but
they want.
you're playing almost two forwards at fullback. Like they were down 2-1. Like I bet on that match. I bet that Luton Town are going to score because it's like these guys don't play defense. Like obviously Chelsea are going to allow a goal, and then they went down 2-1. But anyways, so we've been starting to give like a favored option here. Ryan's been pretty bad at it at the end of shows. I think he gave out. I can't remember. Oh, he gave out Mbuemo last week. For some reason, he had
what? What am I giving out? A favorite what?
Just like your favorite play, maybe favorite underdog kind of a thing that like you're riding this guy to perform well this week, kind of a thing. Ryan went Mbuemo
I
last
don't
week.
play that way though.
Well, just for fun though. Just for fun.
For fun?
Yeah,
for fun. We're playing for money.
This is a fun podcast.
I'm playing to not lose, Adam. I'm playing to not lose. It's a must-not-lose game.
We are playing for fun, but I feel like, when we give these random off-the-cuff tips, like sometimes those are the best tips to give out that, these are things that they're sitting in the back of our heads that we never say, but sometimes those are the best tips to give out.
Yeah, but I do say.
Oh, all right.
All right. What am I going to say? What's my favorite what? There's nothing to what?
All right. Let me ask one more question before we go. If Christian Eriksen,
that's an actual question, maybe I can answer it.
If Christian Eriksen starts, are you going to play him at 6,800?
No.
Okay. All right. I'll leave with
you. How do you fit him in? There's no way to fit him in.
You can only fit him in if you don't use Ward-Prowse or Mount, really.
I don't even think he's worth 6,800 on Brentford. So, why do I care? I think Eriksen is going to be, maybe he should be 5,500.
Yeah. All right. I will. Okay. I want to point out we always got to mention Jacob Ramsey's 4,700. He's always, I think Ryan would have mentioned him. So I got to point him out here. 4,700 home match. But that's all we got here.
Is that your favorite? Is that considered your favorite?
No, I'm laying down on Billy Gilmore here. He's going to get a floor of 10 points. He's going to get an assist. He might reach 20. That's my play. Billy Gilmore, that's the guy.
Don't complain when he only gets 7.5 points.
Hey, you know what? That'll be enough.
Which is fine. You can take it.
That'll be enough.
Okay. But it's not like I want to play him. It's just like, okay, I'll take those.
All right. Jordan is losing his voice here. We're going to be nice to him. We got the 40-minute cutoff, so we got to preserve his voice for future shows. But if you've been listening, watching on YouTube, head up the cheat sheet. Jordan mentioned it earlier in the show. rotowire.com/soccer trial. Free 10-day trial, no credit card required. You can also get into our Discord where we sometimes chat about DFS, and I sometimes give out random FA Cup parlays, so check out that. Also at RotoWire, we have the Kits and Waiters show, more of a betting podcast if anyone is interested in betting. Jordan, you are at Blender HD. I am at Zdroik. We've been talking Saturday's 5-game slate. Here's to Billy Gilmore and Jordan. Thanks for joining me. We will see everyone next week.